It came together through a series of conversations with Rob, and then overhearing his story, I more and more started picturing what an amazing film that could possibly be. And so I took those recordings and started chopping them up, almost like a radio play, and I would just listen to it and imagine what it could be. And so that was kind of what formed the basis of the first draft.
Gratifying, and I was also terrified that I'd built it up so much in my mind that what if it's awful? And thankfully, not only was it not awful, it was what a lot of people saying, the best movie of this century.
That is extraordinary.
Mm-hmm. What led to the decision? I mean, I really wanted to find a unique way into this story and a unique way to lens this story. I think Rob is quite a unique character, and so I felt that in portraying him in the film, there must be something that would not only make it unique, but also elevate the story. And because at the end of the day, we're setting a contract with the audience very early on because it's a musical. We're saying it's a musical, people are going to be breaking into song, just go with it. And all we're doing is just adding a monkey on top of that. So it's a musical, there's a monkey, that's the contract, just go with it. And the truth is, for the majority of people who watch it, after the first 5 minutes, they don't think about the monkey at all. And their engagement and their empathy for that character, I think, is even more because it is the monkey. So when Robbie's little, Carter J. Murphy plays Robbie. Great kid, love that guy. The moment he turns into a teenager, Jonno Davies represents Robbie. And they are on set in essentially a grey wetsuit with tracking markers. They've got dots on their face. They've got a camera rig out the front of their face, shooting back onto their face. And that is how we capture the performance. And then all of that material is taken by Weta, who set up a company in Melbourne, which is incredible because Weta Australia now exists because of this film. And the team of artists that came together who were wildly passionate about this film, the compositors, the animators, everyone involved, the motion capture people, everyone they just brought this to life in a way that, my background's in animation and visual effects, and I was literally blown away. I think the reason you have to see this in the theater is there's literally too much to take in one viewing. And if you see it on a small screen, you miss so much of the film. Not just visually, but you miss so much audibly. This film was designed for a cinema Atmos mix, which is Dolby, and there is placements of sounds within the space based on where you're at in Rob's head.
And the reason why I should go to the movie is because I've given so much of myself to the entertainment industry over the years, and this is all I ask in return. I've nearly given my life several times to entertain you, the masses, and all I ask is you leave your house for me for one night. I think that is something that you can and should do.
Such a genuine ask too. For me, what people take away from the film is really personal. And I say that because hearing people talk about it, it's really interesting what they specifically latch onto. And I think it's a very unique thing for each person who watches it.
I've asked for nothing in return, if you think about it. I'm like the Mother Teresa of cabaret. And this one time, I come to you, cap in hand.
Playing Robbie in a conventional way like this, it was an honor to tell it in a way that I don't think has been told before. VFX has obviously been used, motion capture has been used in cinema, but to have it solely at the forefront of the way that a story is told and to kind of elevate the way that VFX is used in storytelling was a privilege to be that person to kind of take that responsibility. In terms of how I prepared for the role, I was able to look through a vast catalogue of performances of Rob, from interviews of Rob, to really fine-tune certain specific physicalities that he does. But then in order to make it feel authentic, I had to attach myself somehow. How do I step into those shoes and feel like it's me that's going through that and not just playing someone that's going through that? And the trigger for me was the idea of imposter syndrome. I feel not just performers, but a lot of people feel that way in relationships, in jobs. They always feel like they're going to get found out or they're not enough. And I know Rob certainly feels that in abundance. And so tapping into that was kind of how I got into his headspace. But then on the other side of it, having fun. Like, some of these musical numbers are the most joyous things you're going to see on cinema for a long, long time. And so I just got to be a kid. I got to pretend like I was the 9-year version of me that used to watch him in concert and be that kid on stage performing in front of thousands of people.
So Nicole Appleton is a singer. She was a part of the band All Saints, who were massive in the 90s and reaching their height around the time that she met Robbie Williams. And they met at, I think, a Top of the Pops rehearsal one day in real life, not on a yacht in Saint-Tropez. but they dated in the 90s and were engaged, and at one stage looked at starting a family together. And in our film, Nicole goes along that journey and goes along for some of Rob's rise and fall as well. And so some of that is, you know, dancing like Ginger Rogers on a yacht in Saint-Tropez, and some of it is being really messy and sort of mascara, you know, smudged in her living room. It's the real spectrum of human experience.
Working with Michael is, I just wish every actor could get that opportunity, because it will open your eyes to how it should feel on set. Michael treats everyone with such respect, but also warmth and humour, and you just have the best time. He's also incredibly honest, which is really useful, because you can sometimes feel like you're a little bit at sea when you're performing if you're not getting honest feedback from your director. If you've just got someone going, you're great, you start to realise that you can't be great all the time. And so when Michael tells you when Michael will be like, yeah, that was rubbish, like, what were you doing? Go for a bold stroke, absolutely, but don't do that again. But that makes the moments when he supports you even more special. Like, when he's like, this is exactly it, you go, okay, we're actually onto something now. But he treats everyone, every member of staff, every cast member with such respect and humour and love that it trickles down and creates just a fantastic ethos to work in.
I couldn't agree more. This is my first film, and I have been spoilt rotten. I think from the ground up, even to this whole experience being here with you today, I have never experienced anything like this, but I'm a bit scared that I never will again, because it's just been so bloody good. Michael is the rare specimen of, I'm going to put my passion project out there to you, I'm going to sell it to you, and I'm going to not only come through, but I'm going to exceed any expectation you have. That just doesn't happen. And while we do it, I'm going to be a really lovely human being as well. You know, he is the leader of this project, and it was such a lesson in kindness and respect, from how he treated our extras, to how he treated us, to how he treated every single person that put, whether it be an hour or their life, into this. He was so grateful, and I think that never went unnoticed, people's work. And as a creative, you go, that's how it should be. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to do his projects from now on, if he'll have me, because otherwise I'm a bit scared.
One more thing I'd like to say about Michael as well is, I think it takes one thing to go, we're going to do a musical biopic as a CGI monkey, and that in itself is already innovative, right? But then to have the taste to make it work as well as it does, it has no right to be as good as it does. But Michael has such impeccable taste that he can make you believe in this monkey, you feel with this monkey, and I just think that's really, really a special quality to have.
Can we keep talking about Michael? I love him so much. We could talk about him all day. Something else that Michael really taught me, and also you actually, you taught me, was I've never had the experience of play on set, the true definition of play. He's someone who he knows, he's very prepared and very diligent in his vision. However, he knows that when he captures something special, even if it's a perceived mistake, he will go for it because he knows to chase those sort of sparkle moments that happen when you think you've messed up. And there were a few moments with us, and even in my dance routine, where I thought there'd been a mistake, and he goes, oh, no, it's different, but it works, and I love it, and we've got the take, and there end up being there. And he's someone who is so open to collaboration and creativity, and he just embraces play. And I've not experienced that before. It was just so creatively fulfilling.
I think audiences can expect a honest outlook on a celebrity's life that makes you feel like you could be them as well. It steps you into the shoes of someone who has the pressure chamber of fame surrounding them and smothering them, all at the same time having these moments of release of musical greatness and being told in a exceptionally unique way. You will not see another musical biopic like this, and I don't think you will in the future. And that is a true testament to Michael Gracey's work.
I don't think audiences should have any expectations walking into this film. Expect the unexpected, because I was a part of it. I was on set, and yet I couldn't have been prepared for what ended up being on screen. And there are people, particularly in North America, that maybe aren't familiar with this story, and the idea that they're going to walk in there with no preconceived notions about Robbie or what this film is, I am so jealous of them that they get to witness and experience this real feat in storytelling and filmmaking. It's an assault on the senses in the best possible way.